Bold statement first. Religious populations aren't spread evenly across the globe. In fact, many faiths are concentrated in just a handful of countries, shaping global demographics in striking ways. But here's where it gets interesting. Some faiths are far more localized than others, with the majority of adherents clustered in only a few nations. Pew Research Center researchers have long studied the composition of world religions, including Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Islam, and the religiously unaffiliated. While Christians and Muslims enjoyed broad geographic distribution, several other faiths show a much tighter geographic footprint. Our latest global religious landscape estimates, based on 2020 data, indicate that for several groups the bulk of believers reside in 3 or fewer countries. This analysis forms part of Pew's ongoing examination of how religious demographics are changing worldwide. How the analysis was conducted. Pew Research Center carried out this study as part of its broader inquiry into shifts in global religious composition. The religious shares reported here were first published in the 2020 to 2020 update of our landscape. The methodology draws on more than 2,700 data sources, including national censuses, large-scale surveys, population surveys, and registration systems. This work is a component of the Pew Templeton Global Religious Futures Project, which tracks religious change and its societal impacts. Funding for the project comes from the Pew Charitable Trusts and the John Templeton Foundation, Grant 62287. The publication does not necessarily reflect the views of the foundation. Hinduism. Hinduism is the most geographically concentrated religion among those we analyze, with the vast majority of adherents anchored to its birthplace. About 95% of the world's roughly 1.2 billion Hindus live in India, a country that itself accounts for about 18% of the global population. Religiously unaffiliated. While attention often centers on the growth of the knowns in Europe and North America, 2/3, about 67%, of the world's 1.9 billion religiously unaffiliated individuals reside in a single Asian country, China. China accounts for roughly 18% of the global population. Jews. Approximately 46% of the world's 15 million Jews live in Israel, with another 39% residing in the United States. Taken together, these two countries house about 85% of all Jews, yet they comprise only around 4% of the world's population. Buddhists. Most Buddhists are concentrated in 3 Asian nations: Thailand, China, and Myanmar, Burma. Those countries together host about 52% of all Buddhists, and roughly 20% of the world's population. Muslims. Islam is often linked in popular imagination with the Middle East and North Africa, but only about 20% of the world's Muslims live in that region. Among global rankings, Egypt is the only MENA country among the 6 nations with the largest Muslim populations. Larger Muslim populations are found in Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Nigeria. The 6 countries with the largest Muslim populations collectively hold about 52% of Muslims worldwide, yet they account for roughly 30% of the global population. Christians. Christians are the most geographically dispersed of the major groups studied. It takes at least 12 countries to account for 51% of the world's 2.3 billion Christians. The 12 countries, United States, Brazil, Mexico, the Philippines, Russia, Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ethiopia, South Africa, Italy, Germany, and Kenya, represent about 21% of the world's population. Notes. This piece updates an earlier analysis first published in 2014. Contributions from researchers and interns, including Joseph Naylor, helped shape the original findings. Citation. Hackett, Conrad. 2025. Many religions are heavily concentrated in a few countries. Pew Research Center. doi 10.58094/CXQN2J55. About the author. Conrad Hackett is a senior demographer and associate director of research at Pew Research Center.